have such a stirring that God is calling people back home. Not necessarily to a location, but to a way of living, a way of thinking, a way of stewarding, a way of speaking and believing and cultivating. And it's like you get to a point sometimes where you think, like, haven't I had enough? Like, haven't you had enough chasing and enough stress and enough drama and enough stuff? You realize when you're in that life, when you're in that rat race, you get so caught up in it, and time just passes and passes. And you'll never be fulfilled. You'll never really have enough because there's always something new around the corner. There's always a new must have. There's always a new opportunity, a new this, a new that. And if you're always chasing and chasing and chasing while you leave everything else, like you start something, you chase, you start something new, you chase. Like, think about all the stuff that was a must have a month ago, and now it's like old news. The excitement has worn off. That touchable lamp that everybody had, had to have, the excitement worn off. And that's what happens when you're chasing the seasons and you're chasing things as, everybody's chasing fall decorations right now. Well, that's going to wear off. Then they're going to chase Christmas, and then that's going to wear off. Then they're going to declutter because it's going to be the first of the year, and then that's going to get boring. It's like everything gets boring, and then they're going to chase spring, and then they're going to chase the trends, and then they're going to chase what everybody's doing, and they're going to chase the new TV shows that everybody's binge watching. And that's the thing. When you're going with the world, you're totally missing out on what God has for you. You're so oblivious to it. Like, how do you even know what he has if you're so caught up in trying to have what everybody else has? Always chasing and feeling like, if I just have this, if I just do this, if I just reach this level, if I just get this promotion, if I just drive this, then that's going to validate me somehow, and people are going to be my friend, and everyone's going to like me. Or if I just have a bigger house, or if I move to a different city, or if I, and those might be steps that God wants you to do. Maybe he does want you to move. Maybe he wants you to downsize or get a bigger house or get land or whatever. But the key ingredient here is following his plan for your life, and not you following the world's plan for your life, because you're going to end up nowhere. You're going to end up in debt. You're going to end up with like nerves out of control. You're going to end up anxious, probably depressed. You're going to end up becoming a version of yourself that you probably once told yourself you would never become. And this is like, come home. Get back to the simplicity. Get back to who you were created to be. Get back to the person that God created you to be. The gifts, the talents, the desires, the excitement, the creating, the being, the enjoying, the looking up at the sky, like the deep breaths, the health. Get back to the simple way of living before you buried yourself in all of this unnecessary junk. Everything, 90% of what you see people pushing online is junk. It's all junk. The music's junk, the quality's junk, the stuff is junk. It's all junk. And people on Instagram are showing you a highlight reel of their life. They're not showing you, hey, I'm really out of shape. Hey, I have stomach issues because I'm, so anxious all the time because I'm in so much debt. They're not showing you the real things that their habits have probably caused them. There's only a few select people who are actually vulnerable enough to show, hey, this is where I've been and I'm digging myself out of this hole now. And they're sharing what that looks like. And it is a process. Digging yourself out of holes that you've dug for years and coming to the truth of lies that you've believed is a long process. It's a messy middle. There's a lot of stuff that needs to get done. There's a lot of areas that you need to get control of. There's a lot of things that maybe that ideas that you've entertained and lies that you've believed, that you may wake up one day and be like, I don't want this anymore. Why do I believe this? Why am I living this way? Why am I doing this way? Come home. Come home to that person. Come home to that life that God has for you. Bury yourself. Literally shed that old skin. Shed that old weight. Shed that old person. Like prune. Let God prune those dead branches. They're not bearing fruit anymore. You're literally just carrying them around everywhere. And you can't move into a new season in life that God has you if you're tightly gripping the current, or what was. And I know it's difficult. And one of the hardest things is seeing, holding on to the truth regardless of the appearance. For example, you the truth is that Jesus died to set you free, right? He came so you could be liberated. He came so you could live light and you could live in abundance. But you might not be living that way, and your environment and your bank account and all these things might be telling you a different story. And what happens is you hold on to those facts or that story. Here's a good example. I'm living in a small apartment right now. Okay, we're not in our big giant beautiful, it wasn't actually giant, but it was a beautiful open apartment. We decided to downsize so we could pay off debt and just get some other things in order. I don't like it. It's tight, it's uncomfortable, it's small, it's kind of dark. I don't like being on the bottom. Like, I don't like, it's not pretty when I look out my window, and um, I remind myself this is temporary, this is a season, we're doing what we have to do, but I really don't like it. So I can, I could let that experience get on the inside of me, and that starts becoming who I am. Oh, this is it. This is all we're good enough for. This is where we're going to end up. This is in that. And then I can just start saying, well, at least I have something. Let's be grateful for what we have. Yeah, you should be grateful for what you have. But when you start telling yourself that story over and over and over, it becomes an excuse not to climb up, not to do better, because it's hard to climb out of a hole, climb up a pit. It's hard to reach for something when you start getting comfortable with the mundane, or whatever, with the boring, the day to day. Well, we'll just stay here, and that's what got me stuck in a place for over 8 years. I was like, well, it's good, it's this, and deep down, I was like screaming inside, "Get me out of here! I want to live life. I don't want to be stuck living here." So you can't let the environment or let the current day to day just become your everyday truth. Renewing your mind in the vision of what you have. It's like you're walking in the day to day, but you're holding on to the vision. You're not letting go. You're keeping that is just as fresh is the day to day. So I look at pictures. I look at um, what do I want to be? Where do I want to be? Where do I want to bring my family? I'm constantly reminding, I'm doing this to carry my family to freedom. It's only temporary. I'm reminding my kids, we're motivating each other, we're staying on course, we're doing what we have to do in this season. But if I neglect that, then it'll be very easy to just succumb to what it is. Well, this 1 year will turn into 2 years, and then it's just okay, and then you kind of fall back in your old ways because you're getting comfortable. So what I'm saying is, don't let just your environment or whatever's going on around you become this is the truth of everything. No, you hold on to the truth regardless of appearance of things. You keep pushing forward because there is something better right around the corner. Just because you've lived a certain way for so long, you can flip the script anytime you want. Anytime you're ready, you can just say, you know what, I don't want to live this way. Then you move into action doing the opposite. And there's going to be a period of time, like a gestational period, where it's not going to kind of manifest in the physical yet, but the changes will be made. I had somebody ask me, how long did it take you to, get in shape, when I show kind of before and afters. It all depends on your body, and it depends on what you're eating. Well, when I first started, this was after I decluttered and everything. I wasn't really focused on my weight, but once I got once we moved and I decluttered and I got the house under control, like the living space, then I started working on myself. But I wasn't dialed in. I was like working out, kind of building a base for like 6 months. I was still kind of eating. I wasn't getting my protein in and doing all that stuff. But when I really dialed in, 3 to 4 months, like major transformation in 4 months. Um, so, but it took an effort, and it took time to become that, and it took discipline, and it took trimming the fat, and it took not getting discouraged. It took showing up every day. Even when I didn't see results every single day, people would say, whoa, you're changing. I did notice right away, as soon as I started eating a lot more grass-fed, like steak and beef, my skin looked amazing, which I'm not eating enough right now. I need to, but boy, I was like glowing. My skin was supple, like really, really beautiful. It's like Botox. This steak and grass-fed beef is so good for you. I'm taking some grass-fed beef liver capsules right now. I just started a couple days ago, so we'll see if that does. But very nutrient dense, very high in protein, amino acids, like really good for you. So what I'm saying is, there is a time period between you decide to pay off debt. You're not going to be debt free the next day. There's a time period to pay off the debt. You start working out, there's going to be a time period for you to get in shape when you're working out. So it's going to be a process. You have to be willing to go through the process. and be willing to do what it takes. Now you can make it take a year or 3 months. If you're all in 90 days, you can transform a lot of areas of your life in 90 days. Like you could move, declutter, change jobs, get in shape, pay off massive amounts of debt, but it depends on how intense you go during that time. How bad do you want it? What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to sacrifice during that time period to really come out the other side as that new person? It's not a race, it's a becoming process, but it is, time's ticking. You're getting older. Time's not on your side. So when you get older, things are, changing. You have a obligation to really decide who do I want to be in this next year? Who do I tell myself I am? What kind of life do I want to live or have? What you get to design. You're the designer. You get to God leaves those details up to you. He doesn't care what you drive or where you live. He wants your heart, and he wants you to honor him with everything that you have. So if you're sloppy in all of your ways, you're sloppy with your house, you're sloppy with your money, you're sloppy in life, don't expect him to give you more blessing if you can't handle and you're sloppy and you complain with what you have. This is why getting your house in order, buttoning things up, tightening things up, getting control over the little details is going to make such a big difference, because then you're not going to be subject to things. You're not living in crisis mode. You're not just like, oh, well, I have to take this because of this, or I have to do this because of this. No, you have slowed yourself down to the point where you get to decide where you live, what you eat, nobody's forcing you, and you begin to create that 2.0 version of yourself, and you do it one decision at a time, one choice at a time, one move at a time. So it is a process, and you have to enjoy it too. You can't be all like, oh, you don't be so frustrated in it. Allow yourself some grace if you are dealing with health problems or you can't physically move. Work with what you have. Get your house in order, declutter if you can, find the areas that are really pulling you back down, and then recognize those areas and say, like for me, I feel better when I get to bed earlier and I wake up early. And lately we've been going to bed late and I don't like it. My body doesn't like it. So I recognize, okay, I have to shut down earlier so we can reverse that. So you're just always kind of correcting those things, correcting those areas so you don't get too far along, because otherwise that becomes a habit. And now you're staying up late and you're like, oh, for a month. No, no, no. Correct it and then fix it. Just get back to the simplicity of things like walking and sunshine and working out and laughing and um, enjoying life, being, getting yourself out of this rat race and out of this system and out of this obligatory, I have to be this way, because everyone expects this of me. Once you kind of unplug from that and you stop becoming who everyone else expects you to be, but you actually become who God created you to be, there's a level of freedom that you'll wish you would have made those decisions sooner. So I encourage you today, don't get weary in doing good. Don't get discouraged. I know it's not fun. When you're in the middle of it, it is not fun. It's boring. You feel like you want to give up, you're not making much progress. Keep on moving. Your redemption and your freedom is right around the corner. So don't give up.